In this world of less than physical and emotional interactions between human beings, and a growing technology-based e-relationships, mostly expressed over the internet and over handheld devices via social media, it raises concerns about the social behavior of man in years to come. Anthony Robbins, the great American author and speaker, who is known for his several materials on self-help, once said, "The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the quality of your relationships. As long as human beings will exist, there will be an innate need to interact and build social interactions and relationships, whether for good or for bad and in whatever field of endeavor. One's emotional intelligence is an important element to determine the outcome of every interhuman interaction." And I give you an instance. A full-blown ethnic crisis could start just by the irrational, emotion-driven action of one man from one tribe against a fellow man from another tribe. Welcome to Inspire Youth with HRH. On the show today, we shall be talking about emotional intelligence. And to do this with me, I have a veteran consultant, a chief trainer on emotional intelligence. He's also trained on stress management and anger management. He's trained as a pharmacist and he is a business consultant. Please let's welcome on Inspire Youth with HRH, Isaac Onoja. Isaac, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's go down to the basics. What's emotional intelligence?
Yeah, emotional intelligence is the blending of thinking and feeling to achieve functional outcomes or decisions. So it means that you have the thinking brain,
Yes.
the feeling brain,
Yeah.
your ability to blend the two together now gives you functionality, not fashionability this time.
Okay.
Functionality.
All right.
So it means when you say intelligence, is the ability to solve problems.
That's right.
So you can say emotional intelligence is being smart with your emotions, using your emotions to solve problems.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. You heard the intro.
Yeah.
How does, social media and the internet, where you and I are seated here, or we're out for lunch or for dinner or for something, and we prefer to interact on our phones, rather than having a physical discussion and interaction with one another.
Yeah.
How does that affect our emotional intelligence?
Now, man, from biology, man is said to be an Homo sapiens sapiens.
That's right.
It means he's a thinking man.
Okay.
He's a social being.
Okay.
The man needs that support, that social support. Our energy is from togetherness.
Okay.
But today we are losing it because we are becoming virtual, not real. That's a virtual community.
Yes.
The social media.
Yes, right.
And what is causing it? Because of the lack of engagement in the real world, people are trying to find that engagement in the virtual social world, social media.
That's right.
That creates more problems. So we are losing relationships. Like you can see, you can find 10 people sitting together, but all of them
are looking down. Exactly.
Yes. So, Dr. Sambo, the medical profession should begin to prepare the rate of neck pain that will come in the nearest future. Because necks are just drooping. Every time you find people.
Yes, they're down looking.
Yeah, there's somebody next to you. You need to share an experience. You need to share a fear. You need to share something. But something tells you the one that is on the other side
is more important.
So, it's telling us that emotional intelligence is going down all over the world.
Wow. So you say emotional intelligence is going down all over the world.
Yes.
What is going to be the impact of that?
Now, if emotional intelligence is going down all over the world, it means empathy is going down all over the world. And where there's empathy is going down all over the world, it means we are not going to be thinking or seeing people from their own points of view or from why they act the way they do. We'll only look at things from our own points of view. And we say people don't act or people don't see things the way things are, they see things the way they are. And if you are somebody who has been, who has gone through an experience that was negative, you see every other person as negative. So because empathy is going down, what are we having today? Wars. Now, from the statistics of animals and the rate of destruction, animals killing themselves and all that, it has been found that human beings kill themselves more than any other animal right now. Empathy is going down. This man says, I am Hausa, the other says, I'm Igbo,
Wow.
Yoruba, and all that. This is because of low empathy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all connected by one DNA called the human being.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get hot in the studio right now on Inspire Youth. We have Isaac Onoja. Don't go away. Just stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Inspire Youth, and we're having such an interesting discussion with Isaac Onoja on emotional intelligence. And just before the break, he told us a definition of emotional intelligence as a blending between the thinking brain and the feeling brain.
For functional decisions.
For functional decisions, okay?
Yeah.
And you also mentioned that emotional intelligence world over seems to be on the decline.
That is it.
This is interesting. It is also alarming.
Of course.
How do we fix this?
Now, the only way to fix it is for us to go back to learning, teaching, and practicing emotional intelligence. And how do you do that? Is by activating yourself. Now, the first stage, the first lesson to learn emotional intelligence is emotional literacy. Can you identify, recognize an emotion? When you're angry,
okay,
you say, I am angry.
So you mean it is possible to differentiate between the thinking brain and the feeling brain?
Very well.
Oh, so how do you do that?
Now, you just mentioned the two parts of the brain.
Yes.
Thinking and feeling. Now, feeling brain was the first brain that man got.
Okay.
That's why we're different from animals. That's why we are Homo sapiens sapiens. Animals are Homo sapiens.
Yes. Okay.
We are now sapiens because we are thinking. The animals only have the feeling brain, the emotional brain.
Yeah.
The lion only lives to eat, to have sex, and to die.
That's right.
But the man, no. You have many other things to do because
right.
of your ability to think.
That's right.
Now, the feeling brain is the action brain, is the executor. The thinking brain is the processor, is the analyzer.
Okay.
It tells you, this man just said, you are a great man. What it means is that what you just delivered is great.
Okay.
Then the feeling brain will now say, happy,
All right.
excited, smile.
Oh, interesting.
Then you see it.
Okay. Okay.
This man just called you a nigger.
Mm.
Nigger is negative.
That's right.
You're angry. Act. Give him a punch. So all these comes from the what you call preconditioning of the emotional brain. Now, two parts of the emotional brain that are very, very serious for us to look at. The amygdala
Okay.
and the hippocampus.
All right, tell me.
The amygdala is that part of the brain that stores emotional experiences. It stores it there and it produces it when there is a similar event.
Okay.
For instance, if somebody says you're a nigger, now there's a preconditioning that when you call somebody nigger, it is derogatory.
That's right.
Now that meaning of nigger is now stored in the amygdala. So if somebody says, hey nigger, the amygdala will say, what he just told you, he told you are stupid, you are dumb, you cannot produce.
That's right.
So it's the meaning given by the amygdala and produced by the amygdala that the human being reacts to. But I can have a new meaning that when you call me nigger, it means handsome, intelligent, looking forward, great.
Interesting.
So the moment you say nigger, I say hi.
Okay.
So there's a difference.
Yeah.
But once you call me nigger, and the amygdala, the preconditioned installation that nigger is bad, when you call me nigger, I say, what's wrong with you? I'm not a nigger. What do you mean?
Okay.
I go angry.
That's right.
Now, in the thinking brain is where you process all the information. But you see, there's a problem. Let me state this why we need to do the training in emotional intelligence to understand.
Okay.
There's the thalamus, information or stimulus. You know, from the all or nothing law, they say before an action potential can take place, the stimulus must reach the threshold intensity.
Very true.
So when the stimulus comes, it comes to the thalamus, one part of the brain.
Okay.
The thalamus is supposed to send it to the prefrontal cortex, which is the thinking brain.
All right.
But there is a little shunting. The impulse, the stimulus, instead of getting to the rational brain first, there's one part called the corpus callosum.
All right.
If it's not well developed,
Okay.
I have to mention this because if you understand this, then you can understand why you behave the way you do, and you can control.
Okay.
So when that part is not well developed, it is shunted to the amygdala, to the limbic system
Yes,
now.
to the emotional part.
Yes, the emotional part, which is always reactional. Taking action without thinking.
Okay.
So when they say somebody is reacting,
Yes.
there's a difference between reaction and response.
That's right.
To react is to act without thinking. To respond is to act with thinking.
Okay.
So you now take action without thinking, because now the stimulus, instead of getting to the processing side for analysis, is now going to the emotional side for action. So you take the action first, then it now later gets back to the prefrontal cortex
And
for
you-
thinking.
and you
And
start
by the time
thinking
you
about
think
your action.
about it, you will now be, sometimes, you will now begin to regret.
All right. I have two interesting questions based on this the physiology or
Yes.
pathophysiology that you have mentioned about. I think the major emotion we're talking about here is anger.
Anger, yeah.
All right. But then you've talked about the preconditioning of the amygdala.
Yes.
And what factors or what creates that preconditioning? Does it have to do with the family you've grown up in? Does it have to do with the community you grew up in? Does it have to do with educational status levels? What determines the preconditioning of the amygdala?
Now, when the human being is born tabula
Rasa. Clean
slate.
Clean slate.
So, the first person that begins the conditioning process of a human being is the mother.
Okay. So the family is key to developing emotional intelligence.
It is fundamental.
Interesting.
Now, the brain has what you call the neuronal system. Neurons are
That's
the
right.
functional unit of the brain.
That's right.
Now, every neuron has what you call a pattern to be formed for an activity.
Okay.
Now, the human being has 200 billion neurons. And those 200 billion neurons can form 3 trillion connections or patterns.
Okay.
A pattern is said to be formed when two neurons come together to form an activity.
All right. So how does this relate?
Now, as you begin to, these patterns are formed by what you call language stimulation. Linguistics.
Okay.
You are a great boy.
Oh.
You are intelligent.
Words of affirmation.
Yes, you are handsome.
Great.
You can do it. I love you.
Wow.
You begin to write on that, on the neurons, which is why you find some people are happy and jolly.
Goodness.
You find them in their families. Daddy say, "Great! I what you did on your test today was excellent. I'm going to buy you lunch." Wow. Now that statement goes to write something on the brain and says, "You are always celebrated by Daddy."
Wow.
So anytime you think about Daddy, you see celebration and excitement. So when they say Daddy's has come to pick you,
The neurons are excited.
Yes, I say, "Hey, Daddy's here." But once you get Daddy and say, "You always don't do anything right. You can't tie your shoelace. You can't make your bed." So anytime you hear Daddy, you see shoelace not tied, bed not made, fear comes and you run away.
All right. Isaac, businessmen have been known to take irrational decisions. Irrational decisions that ended up being good and excellent.
Yeah.
Right after the break, you'll be explaining to us the emotional intelligence behind entrepreneurship and how they're able to take such rash decisions that end up being good. Catch you.